An AEW wrestler has been hospitalized after a recent botch, and we have news on some scrapped Cody Rhodes plans in AEW. But first, let's get into the quickfire headlines from this past weekend, as another released WWE superstar would make their return to the company this past Friday on SmackDown. Sarah Logan would link up with her husband Eric and his tag team partner Ivar, with the Viking Raiders now finding themselves another member of their group. The return follows weeks of vignettes teasing an appearance from Logan, with them targeting Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma before a scheduled match between Zelina Vega and B-Fab kicking off a war of factions. The AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament would continue this Friday on Rampage, with two more wrestlers advancing from the first round. First, former FTW champion Brian Cage would defeat Dante Martin, with the Powerhouse overcoming the High Flyer. Cage will now take on the winner of the Ricky Starks and Lance Archer match from this Wednesday. Two former ROH World Champions would then fight it out, with Rush taking on Bandido, with Bandido ultimately going through to the next round, with him set to take on Ethan Page in the semi-finals this week. Elsewhere on Rampage, another match would be added to the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view this Saturday, after Jungle Boy challenged Luchasaurus to a cage match. This is Jack's attempt to even the odds and limit the involvement from Christian Cage, with him now set to seek revenge against his former fellow AEW World Tag Team Champion. All Elite Wrestling have finally confirmed the signing of former ROH World Champion Bandido after the company released a Bandido is All Elite graphic. It was reported that Bandido received an offer to sign for the company immediately after his match with Chris Jericho on AEW Dynamite last month, although WWE would step in with an offer of their own. But word that he is signed with AEW is now official. AEW star Eddie Kingston is officially set to face his dream opponent this Friday on AEW Rampage. This after the company announced that he will team up with Ortiz to take on Konosuke Takeshita and the legendary Jun Akiyama. Kingston has been wishing a match with Akiyama into existence for some time, and now Tony Khan has delivered. The match also marks the return of the popular Konosuke Takeshita, who headed back to Japan to return to DDT in August. This past weekend at a WWE live event, Scarlett would find herself caught in an incident with a fan who threw a drink at her from the front row, leading to the culprit being escorted out of the show. The WWE star has now reacted to the situation on Twitter, trolling the fan for their actions, and she would write, "As a classy woman from Chicago, I'm not surprised that something like this would happen in Peoria. P.S. to the granny that threw the drink, your booze was as cheap as your hairdo." This weekend, a big title change would occur on the independent scene, with a new NWA World Champion being crowned on Saturday night. The main event of the NWA Hard Times Free show would pit the now former champion Trevor Murdoch against two challengers, Tyrus and Matt Cardona. In the end, Tyrus would walk away with the belt, causing a huge reaction online given his divisive role on Fox News, with him adding to his resume, which includes the NWA World Television title in the promotion. Former WWE and AEW wrestler Bobby Fish would make his professional boxing debut in Dubai last night on the undercard for the bout between the former world champion Floyd Mayweather and YouTuber Deji. Fish's fight was slightly more competitive than the main event, with the former NXT Tag Champion walking away with a TKO victory in the second round. The fight ended after his opponent Boateng Prempeh fell to his knees, unable to answer the count, with him appearing to have suffered a shoulder injury. Elsewhere on the boxing card, social media star Jake Paul would declare his intentions to chase the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions The Usos alongside his brother Logan, something that could be in line once Logan recovers from his torn meniscus and MCL and potential torn ACL that he suffered at the WWE Crown Jewel event. And speaking of the Usos, today the brother tag team would become the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history, reaching day 484 of their reign, this now surpassing the WWE Raw Tag Team title reign of the New Day, which lasted 483 days between August 2015 and December 2016. The Usos would win the SmackDown tag titles from the Mysterios in July 2021, before later adding the Raw belts to their other shoulder in May 2022. During the long wait for the boxing pay-per-view main event between Mayweather and Deji, the broadcasters were forced to fill some time, with there said to be ongoing issues backstage between the two main eventers. One of the guests that they spoke with was former AEW TNT champion Sammy Guevara, who would be asked if he would be interested in stepping into a boxing ring himself. He would then ask the Dubai audience if they want to see him box, leading to a very awkward silence, with him receiving no reaction whatsoever. He would then call out Deji to a potential fight in the future, although it did feel like he was trying to save face rather than it being an actual challenge. AEW star and former ROH World Champion Jay Lethal would appear on the Kurt Angle show this weekend, where he would reveal that he plans on staying with All Elite Wrestling until something happens where he is no longer wanted or is no longer allowed to compete, expressing the importance of loyalty in the professional wrestling business. During his time with Ring of Honor, it felt like he had the same attitude there, this before all wrestlers' contracts were ended at the start of this year, leading to his AEW debut. Former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada is set to appear in the Japanese dub of Black Adam, a movie that stars former WWE Champion The Rock. Ahead of the December 2nd Japan release of the film, Okada would attend a promotional event where he broke the news, with him seeking advice from his wife Suzuko Momori, who herself is a voice actor in many Japanese films. Okada would add that he hopes to be able to have a match with The Rock at some point, although a New Japan appearance from the Great One does seem unlikely. Last night, top WWE star Kevin Owens would drop from the top rope during a house show in Madison, Wisconsin, jamming his knee before communicating with the referee. Whilst Owens was able to get to his feet and hit a stunner on Austin Theory to score the win, Dave Meltzer has now confirmed that he suffered from an MCL sprain, although there is fear that it could be more. If it is just a sprain, he'll be looking at around 4 to 6 weeks of recovery. And next up, a WWE superstar has given an update on their status in New Japan Pro Wrestling. On November 5th, Carl Anderson was scheduled to defend his Never Openweight Championship against former Bullet Club teammate Hikuleo at the NJPW Battle Autumn Show. However, Anderson would end up returning to WWE prior to the match, becoming double booked for the November 5th date, instead working the Crown Jewel event alongside OC teammates Luke Gallows and AJ Styles, losing to Finn Balor, Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day. Despite the no-show and a statement from New Japan insisting that he'll get stripped of his title if he doesn't show up, Anderson remains the champion, something he would discuss on the WWE After the Bell podcast this week. Speaking with Corey Graves, Carl would double down on plans to wrestle in New Japan whilst under WWE contract and would say, "I'm gonna go back on my time. New Japan Pro Wrestling usually strips their champions when they can't make a show. They threw a leniency in there because they announced the match when we hadn't totally agreed what we were going to do. The dates were coming up, I'm going to come back and defend my championship." I messaged Rocky Romero, he's a great friend and one of the Office brothers, and I go, "I can't wait to announce this date because these people are really hating on me right now. I'm keeping this title and never giving it back." The new WWE regime does appear to be more willing to work with other promotions, as shown by the booking of Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Great Muta in Pro Wrestling Noah next year. When or where Anderson will make his New Japan return remains to be seen, although he and his tag team partner Luke Gallows, who are still active members of the Bullet Club, are said to have verbally agreed to appear through till Wrestle Kingdom in January. And next up, an AEW wrestler was hospitalized after a recent botch. On Saturday night, AEW wrestler Abaddon would compete on a Warriors of Wrestling show in New York, although things didn't end well for the horror-themed star. During her match, she would attempt a Hurricane Rana on her opponent Joey Ace, although she would end up landing wrong, leading to the match being immediately stopped. Ace would then be awarded the victory via a referee stoppage. According to PW Insider, she was then taken to hospital for treatment and is said to have likely suffered from a broken collarbone. It's currently unknown how long she'll be out of action, although a significant recovery period can be expected. The news follows a tweet from WWE superstar Liv Morgan, who posted a photo of herself with Abaddon seemingly at a meet and greet event seemingly in the New York area that day. Abaddon has been with All Elite Wrestling since March 2020, mostly appearing on Dark and Dark Elevation during her time with the company. She has been hospitalized after a match once before, this in October 2020, with her set to be out of action once again. We of course wish her the best in her recovery. And finally, we have some news on scrapped Cody Rhodes plans in AEW. In the lead up to AEW Double or Nothing 2021, Cody Rhodes found himself in a feud with British boxer Anthony Ogogo, a rivalry that was heavily based around nationalism. During that time, the storyline was heavily criticized by AEW fans and was almost certainly one of the tipping points that led to Cody being booed by the fan base. Well, this week, Ogogo would speak with Cultaholic's Tom Campbell, where he revealed some scrapped plans for the rivalry, story, as well as the reason why their match was cut short at the pay-per-view, and he would say, "I asked for the national anthems, they said no for certain reasons. I asked for people dressed up as beefeaters, I asked for that, we didn't get it. I asked for a few things to really ramp it up. The match was good, could have been really good. We actually lost 6 minutes of our match because of time constraints. I think the Battle Royal before went heavy. We filmed a really cool Rocky montage beforehand, but we had to cut that because of time. We had to cut around 40% of the match. We had a big meeting after that about how to stick to their times, because it's not fair people having their matches scuppered because of other people's unprofessionalism." Ogogo has barely appeared on AEW television since the feud, although he has appeared on Dark and Dark Elevation, whilst continuing to work the independent scene in the US and the UK, where he continues to gain experience. As for Cody, he is now of course in WWE, positioned as a top babyface as he continues to recover from his torn pec. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 things that you didn't know about AEW's Hook.